Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophia, pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue diving into Chinese well-wishing expressions. Normally, it's people well-wish each other at the turn of the year, right? But sometimes we came up with expressions for special occasions. And today's is one of those seasonal well-wishing, which is the time of the year. That's at the end of the year and the beginning of the year, or the beginning of the year, that we are wishing everybody some good things. And through here, we can, through well-wishing expressions, we can see what Chinese value, that they want it for themselves, therefore they wish that on other people as well wish. So 岁岁平安 is today's expression. Again, we came across this expression of Chinese using the exact same character in the same sound, repeated right one after another. In English, it will be redundancy. It will be a grammatical mistake. And it's bad English, but in Chinese, it's legit. Chinese use this repetition to give you a sense of rhythm, because life can be repetitive, right? So in language expressions, we do use this repetitive pattern, at least two of them. I don't actually remember an expression have three of the same characters stacked together, like sequentially, one after another. But the two of them is often the case. 岁岁平安, it literally means year after year. You see, English cannot put year right next to each other. We have to say year after year. We have to make it explicit. Of course, it's year after year. You don't have the same, you don't have 2 years live simultaneously, right? Where right now in 2024, we cannot relive 2023 again, and we cannot do that, definitely cannot do that simultaneously. It's after the year, right? It's implied, but Chinese don't even bother with this implicated message. It's just put year, 岁岁 next to each other, and then the language user will fill in the blank, because we understand from just human experience, it's going to be year after year, right? Okay, let's unpack this 岁. This is right foot, this is left foot. You can see it's kind of mirror image, but one step in front of the other. Actually, the right foot is on the top of left foot. So that means you're kind of stepping forward, right foot in front, so to speak, put your best foot in front of the other, right? So this right foot is made of Chinese foot symbol, just like the hand symbol. We use 3 toes to represent all 5 toes. This is the big toe, this is the pinky, and this is the rest of the middle toes. And I'm not sure if it's based on the neurotic sense, because if you're right now trying to move your toes, you probably can singulate your big toe. You can do something with your big toe without moving the other toes, right? And then you can reach out your pinky toe. You can feel your pinky, and then the rest of the middle 3 toes are not that distinctive. It's like you can train your hands to play piano, move 5 fingers individually, but it's almost like impossible without a special training to train your toes to separate out like each single toe to move on its own. So probably in that sense, Chinese collapse the 3 middle toes into one, because they're kind of like feel to us grown on the same neurotic traffic lane. So they go together. We cannot really separate them out. Okay, that's my interpretation. And then you can see one step in front of the other. In Chinese, that means step, actually. So we make it visually just obvious, one in front of the other. One in front of the other. And this stepping give you the sense of progression in space, right? But here we're talking about a year, so it's progression in time. And this time, a sense of time, is expressed by the rest of the icon. So the 2 icons actually overlay on each other. It's a little bit complicated, but imagine you remove the left foot the right foot from the frame, imagine. The rest of them, it looks like this Sharpie cornered thing. That's an ancient weaponry image. And then we have a horizontal line, vertical line, another horizontal line. That's the rest of the structure. So I don't want to go into details of that, but that is one of the 12. This is the 11th. 11th actually is here. Okay. If this is 1, this is 12, 11th, it's somewhere around here. So in Chinese astrology, that according to the movement of the stars or the universe, observable star position, Chinese or season position, Chinese try to map out the sense of time progression year after year, right? Of course, we have 4 distinctive seasons in our contemporary language. But beyond that, Chinese cut it, finer cut into 12. Actually, we have our lunar calendar based on the movement of the moon is built with 12 seasons. I guess for a farming society, have an accurate seasoning sense of when to do what is critical to survival. So the fine tuning of the season or the progression of time was cut into 24. But in other cases, 12 is sufficient, which match with the 12th month in a contemporary calendar. So Chinese ancient way of time mapping is also in this 12 chunks. And then this character without the step thing means the 11th month. So 11th is a time when, you know, in Chinese yin and yang, this binary change of something warm to something cold, or something full of energy to something quiet, low energy, have this transitioning in this time, this 11th month. It's like almost the fire. If fire symbolized energy, full energy, symbolized like summer time, right? High energy time. This 11th month is like the fire close to put out, like no more fire. You don't feel warmth. In the 11th bucket of the time progression series, that's the time when it's approaching to nothingness or low energy, the lowest energy point. And that's at the end of the year in this 12 cut spectrum. And you can see one foot is within here and the other one is stepped forward, almost like on the other side of it. And this is the sense of your 2 feet are straddling. One is in this cold place, the other one is crossing that line into the other one. So this gives you the sense of it's, you're actually at the very borderline of this 12-month calendar progression. One is within this 11th and the other one is already the new year, something like that. So you're crossing the year, crossing the time, one whole year's worth of progression. All right, so that's 岁. Again, we use 岁to mean year after year. Now, 平安 often put together, and we actually, one of the most well-known Chinese insurance company use 平安 as their branding gag as well, because it tied with Chinese sense of security in peace. You kind of reduce the velocity or the changes, the variations of life. So you're kind of within the spectrum, nothing too crazy, not a dramatic change of fortune in life. So that's the sense of 平安. And 平, Chinese use 平 to mean stable. It's not lopsided. It's not out of balance. It's pretty much things in control. You're balanced. And this 平 is created with the sense of articulation from the sound making effort of humans. I guess, well, in Chinese, at the beginning of the language creation, language creators really paid a lot of attention and used a lot of symbols from speaking function. So I guess when human newly gained the skill as a speaker, right, we were fascinated by the capacity that we actually can speak and create a different sound. So the sense of speaking came from this puff of air, supposedly coming out of your lung, right? You kind of eject this stream of air, this breath coming out of you, and now its horizontal line is the blocker of the airflow. Because if without block, we just that one sound. But we can make so much complicated, intricate patterns with the sound, with our speech, because we have such blockers, which is made of the mouth chamber, the lips, the teeth, the tongue, all of that are creating this constant change of this sound chamber, sound making chamber morphing, right? And language creators use that puff of air, got blocked to just symbolize the speaking process that involves breathing, involves blocking and anti-blocking, I guess, because eventually the breath of air have to come out to be heard, right? And now the top gives you the sense of, I guess the top, you can view that as under the sky because it's upper frame in the Chinese character. So you see I cut everything into this frame. And within that frame, if this horizontal line is close to the top of the frame, very likely that means the sky. And we have two hyperbola shape, kind of like this. That means the air goes out. So eventually your breath coming out from the blockage going out to the world, right? It kind of spread out like this. So Chinese use the symmetrical curve line to mean your voice spread out, and it's because it's a symmetrical, it means it's spread out evenly, and that's the preferred quality of articulation. Chinese, at least just from this snap view of how the speech making is depicted in this frame, it means the language creator is aware of the breathing, the air from your lungs is used in there, and also the value, like the preference is built in as this even distribution of your air. There's no like sharp sound or super single directional sound. It's like you're going to spread your voice into the space under the sky. Okay, so that creates the sense of things are balanced, things are evenly distributed, and eventually extend into the sense of stable. There's no, dramatic or sharp or, outlier. So everything is within that normal range. Okay, so that's ping. And we have this big dome with the chimney on the top. That is the Chinese way to symbolize it's a domestic space. It's a private, it's private space, and it's shelter, basically. So we know we start from caveman age, eventually learn how to build our own personal space, right? Architecture. So this arch means a space, and this chimney means it's a man-made space. So that's our man-made shelter. And however elaborate you want it to be, a palace, it's still a shelter, right? It shields you from the nature's elements. And then inside it is a woman symbol. And according to some scholars, this not only is woman, it's in particular unmarried woman. So this is somebody's daughter. And you have this private space with your daughter inside. What do you want your daughter to have, which is safety. I guess as the primary job of a father, you're supposed to provide a safe environment for your daughter. That's what this frame means. I mean, at the beginning, I didn't know it was daughter image. I thought, okay, under this space, you have a woman. So, protecting woman, that's safety. But protecting daughter, that gives you even more a stronger sense of it's unmarried daughter, right? You don't want her to be spoiled. You want her to be shielded, protected from the outside world until you hand her over to somebody else. And that's the level of safety or sense of security in your domestic space. Okay, 岁岁平安, 平 and an, the stable and safe. I mean, I like alliteration, so I intentionally translate it as stable, which can mean even, no drama, right? And the safety, security together means peace, and we simply use 岁岁平安 means you have peace year after year, because hey, some are good year, some are better, some are more harder, tougher year for us, right? So year varies from year to year, but we like to wish everybody have relatively peaceful time, no drama year after year. So you have a kind of a stable life. There's no major change. I guess this anti-change we want to, or anti-uncertainty is kind of building in there, like things are expected. Maybe it's dramatic change for the good, but even that may feel like too much for our nerves. We want to be peaceful, to be sort of live within our predicted sense of what our boundaries are, and things are operated within this expectation. Nothing too dramatic out of our, caught us by surprise. Here I'm showing an apple, because apple, Chinese pronunciation is 苹果. 果 means fruit. 平 is this character with this graph symbol on the top. So that means a plant-based, flat and even thing. And because they share the same pronunciation, even if the icon would slightly be different, but it's share the same partial icon together. So 苹果, apple, in Chinese, then transferred, used to symbolize peace. And actually, in one of the Chinese grocery stores, I saw this 苹果 was grown with this shading technology that they carve out happiness icon, the Chinese character, in a paper or something, cover one side of the apple, so that when the apple was growing in its when it's facing the sun, is the skin of the color will look differently from the less exposed area of the sun. So that way they can kind of project a Chinese character onto the apple symbol. So apple in Chinese culture then is associated with peace. And if we give to somebody apples, we kind of well-wishing them to have peace, to 平安, kind of like no accidents, right? No dramas, and have that sweet year after year. Okay, catch you into the currency of thinking by one word a day with Sophie. See you another day.